past painful relationships. I'm truly Eleanor, and I help women create loving and secure relationships based on trust in 6 months or less. This is a common question I get on, they're someone who wants to find a relationship or find love, and they feel like they just keep dragging their past bad relationships into every new relationship. And even if something had potential, they feel like they're kind of messing it up because they are bringing their past baggage into everything. So let's dive into this. I would love to have you subscribe to my channel, Truly Eleanor, for more love, dating, and relationship advice like this. So I've been coaching women for the last 15 years, and I also overcame my own struggle of being in one relationship after another that was unhealthy in the dynamics. And I felt like I was just on this merry-go-round or going into some kind of Groundhog Day with relationships. The same thing kept occurring over and over again. And one of the things that I figured out is I was bringing the past relationships into each new relationship. So this is what we're going to talk about today, is how to really let that go so that you have a fighting chance in a new relationship, or you can prepare yourself to have a new experience and create that loving, secure relationship you're desiring. So the first thing to think about is, how much have you actually processed? Some women tend to go into, serial dating or one relationship after another, and they don't allow themselves that time in between, or the pause in between, to really process what's gone on and to learn what they need to learn about themselves from the relationship. So it's not that you're going to really focus on the other person or how the dynamic didn't work out, or, that you don't want that kind of person. It's more about, who are you and who do you want to be in these relationships, and how can you really be fully yourself in the present moment without bringing in all the past fears and trust issues and all those type of things into it. So that's the first question you're asking yourself, is how much have I allowed myself to process these past relationships? And if the answer is not really, and you've kind of been distracting yourself, so one way you can distract yourself is go from one thing into another and just always be dating or always in the next relationship. Second thing is to really dive into your work. So this is common with the women I work with. They're really, type A, and they really want to, they're ambitious and they're really focused on their career. So maybe you throw yourself into your career so much that you're distracting yourself and you're not giving yourself the emotional breathing space that you need to really clear and process the wounds from the past relationships. So if you feel like you kind of haven't been doing one or the other, or maybe both, or the third way is just really filling up your time with so much stuff that you don't have any quiet time or alone time to let those feelings come up. So if you've been distracting yourself or you haven't processed, then we're going to talk about this first. You have to give yourself that space. And I'm not saying to not work and not go out or not do anything like that, but you have to actually carve out the time and the space to process these emotions and the past. So once you've given yourself that time, even if it's like an hour one evening where you set aside really quiet time, and then you've got your journal and maybe some nice relaxing music or something, and a space where you can be totally yourself and let go. So no interruptions, no worries that someone's going to come in, just a really safe space for yourself. And then start diving into the processing. So that's the second piece of letting go, is processing. And I always start with, think of probably either the most recent relationship that has broken up and you feel upset about it, or start with the most painful one. Depending how brave you are and how much you really want to dive into it, you might want to just start with the most recent breakup that you want to really look at, and ask yourself what the theme of the relationship was. Like, what do you think actually disintegrated or broke down? So for example, the theme could be trust issues, or the theme might be betrayal, or the theme might be incompatibility, or not understanding each other. So just find the theme when you think about it for a minute, or you can just journal and jot down your ideas and thoughts about this relationship that you focus on from the past. Find the theme and then start asking yourself more about it. So spending some more time diving into that theme. So how did it show up? How do you know that that was the theme? What were some of the feelings and experiences that you had within yourself that told you that this was what the experience was? So if it's like being misunderstood, just maybe the experiences were frustration, feelings inside you, or just constantly having to repeat yourself, or having to talk more loudly and feel like you have to yell to be heard or understood. Those are kind of like the evidence to show you that that's what you experienced. And that's how you know that that's what you experienced, is that feeling of misunderstanding because of these things that happened. So now you've got more of like an in-depth look at the theme, how you experienced it, and some of the feelings. So what were the main emotions around that? And once you've got that, then you're going to dive into the familiar piece. So where have you felt these feelings before? Where have you experienced this in the past? So this is maybe looking at your childhood growing up with your caregivers or your parents. Maybe you witnessed them with the same dynamic, the same theme. So this is where you start to connect the dots, and it really helps with processing because you're figuring out where it came from and the main themes and things that you've experienced in your life, maybe over and over again, or that are strongly have strongly impacted you and your beliefs about yourself. So now you're connecting the dots between when was the first time, or when do you remember feeling like this in the past growing up or with your family. And then now that you've got the overview of what you're dealing with, then you want to do something to release these main feelings by allowing them to come up. So you can just sit quietly, you can close your eyes, you can do some meditation, you can do some EFT tapping where you talk about the experience. So for example, you're just tapping on your one point and telling the story of, I just feel so misunderstood. And when I talk about myself, or when I try to explain myself, it always comes out wrong, or the other person gets mad. So you start to explain it while tapping, and then the emotions will start to release. So you may start yawning, you might start crying, you might feel really tired all of a sudden, or just feel things releasing. And so just continue this process of however you like to release emotions, whether it's the EFT, just quietly sitting, inviting those feelings to come up, feeling them fully in the body, allowing them to release through the body. You could also do some exercise. So you could do yoga and different yoga poses to release certain emotions. Also walking, like a walking meditation where you're quietly walking and reflecting on these things, and just walk really fast so that you've got your cardio up and you feel your body moving, and maybe you have some emotions or things release while you're walking. And getting that exercise in nature would be a great place to do it. So if you're near trees or water, you could also sit by the water and imagine that the emotions are releasing from your body and being washed away with the water. So whatever analogy or metaphor you like to use for releasing emotions, you can do that. You can also write about it and burn it safely in a bowl, in a a flame safe bowl. And then that also releases emotions. So using fire, water, nature, EFT, all these things are really amazing ways to release this emotion. And then the last piece would be moving forward. So you've really gone into this, you dove into the whole experience of this relationship, the themes around it, the feelings, what it reminded you of. You released a lot of the emotions, and now you're going to bring it all together with your intentions for moving forward. So maybe your intentions are with a new relationship and you've met someone that you really like and you don't want to bring this stuff into the past. So you can say, I intend to open my heart and move forward and stay in the present moment as we build this relationship. Or I intend to commit to myself that I'm going to stay with this present relationship and I'm not going to go into the past, or I intend to notice when I'm going into the past and switch my focus to the present moment and what is actually occurring in this relationship. So those are some strong intentions that you can do, as well as if you're looking for a relationship. So say you've just had this breakup, or it's been a while and you feel like you're just dragging it along, your intention can be to move forward, to open your heart to new love. Another intention can be that you intend to welcome in, or whatever words you want to use, like signal in the next relationship for you, to open your heart, to be more trusting. You intend to move forward to find love that is new and create the experience you want. So using those type of words. So being open and staying in the moment and creating the loving experience you want. So focus your intentions on what you want to create now, as opposed to talking about the past. So that's how you move forward into the next phase of your life. And this is the best way to actually stop bringing in old relationships into new relationships, or just to let it go so you can have a new relationship. So hopefully this has been helpful on how to let go of past painful relationships so you can create a loving and secure relationship today, whether it's with yourself or with someone else or both. Hope this has been helpful. So please comment below in the comment sections with any questions you have, any insights you've had. I'd love to hear what resonated with you the most about the video, and I will see you next time. This is truly Eleanor. Bye for now.